Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Fry Park, where the Classical Rams are facing off against the Malden Golden Tornadoes. I'm your announcer tonight, Sean Donahue, here with me, our crew from Classical. We got Lyman, and we've got Godswill over here along the third baseline. A little bit different from where we're used to setting up. Boys are going to be ready on the fly, and maybe fielding a couple balls. Malden right now standing at a record of 0-3, Classical at 0-1. Both of their last games, losses to Everett. Everett, the defending GBL champions, coming out strong in the beginning of the season. This will be Classical's first home game. And that's a Trin hit with the ball, so her Trin will walk on her first at bat. Playing at the first base position. Now to bat, number 4. We got Khalidi playing the shortstop position, showing bunt there. Khalidi takes a strike there. Pitching for the Rams today. We're in number 11, Elias. Elias, a returner from last season. And the Rams not sending away a lot of players this offseason, so we'll be looking to see these guys grow and improve as they did last season as well. The pitch takes a swing. And right over the shortstop into center, left field, scooped up and fielded nicely. So, 2 on for Malden. Next up to bat, we're at number 15, Seeley. And Seeley, I believe, in the DH position, or flex position today. So no position listed for Seeley. And great start from Malden here in the beginning, top of the first. Showing bunt, foul ball. And the Classical defense slow to make the adjustment. Not trying to be found out of position. Centipede in the catching position here in Classical's home opener. The pitch, swing and a miss. Solid cut. Just a little bit out of reach. Seeley gets a piece of that one, fouls along the backstop. Pitch from Elias. Deja vu. Elias gets the call from Centipede. Shot along the third baseline, right to the shortstop. And the error is going to be on Classical here. So loaded bases. Everybody who's been up has gotten a chance to get on. And F at the shortstop position will be attributed to her first error of the day. Ortiz up to bat next for Malden. And bot shot sends Centipede back. Try to field the wild pitch. Couldn't get it back to Elias in time. And that's going to send Hatrin across for the first run of the day. Ortiz awaits the pitch from Elias. Elias gets the call from Centipuse. A little bit high. That one's wild again. Centipuse is going to be forced to try to make a play at the plate. And Elias is there in time. First out of the inning. So 1 out for Malden here. Sealy in scoring position for Malden. Pitch from Elias right down the middle for a strike. So after the strikeout, Classical's got 2 outs here. And Ortiz gets the first K of the day. Umel up to bat for Malden. Elias with the pitch, a little low. Umel takes a swing at it. And can't get what you wanted there, so back up into the box. Centipuse gets the call to Elias. The pitch, swing and a foul back towards the Malden bench. Elias delivers, a little low. Centipuse able to recover on that one. And that'll keep Sealy at third. 2 outs, 1 on in scoring position for Malden. High pitch. Centipuse recovers quickly. And Sealy reluctant to try to steal home. Elias with the pitch. Right where she wants it. Or not exactly. A little high. And that was going to send Umel to first base on a walk. So 2 walks here. Next up to bat, Garcia. Garcia playing in the right field position today. Or rather, the pitching position today. A little tough to read the third copy of the lineup. High pitch there. Fielded nicely by Centipuse to keep this one alive. 1 on at first and 1 in scoring position third. Sealy is there. Garcia waits the pitch from Elias. The delivery. A little low in the dirt. Centipuse recovers nicely. Elias shakes off the first couple of calls from Centipuse. Likes that one. And a high delivery. Catches Garcia looking. She takes a cut. Misses all of that one. Elias with the pitch. Good shot along the first baseline. Fielded nicely by Brooke Braswell to clean it up. So at the end of at the end of the top of the first, Malden leading Classical 1-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the first. Sealy's pitch a little bit high. And Chevalier not having any part of that one. So 1 out, nobody on for the Rams here in their first at bat at home, playing at Fry Park today. As anybody who knows that field, that breed, it's about 2 or 3 inches of mud here in April. A soggy winter, so And after 4, she'll take her first. Nevaeh F, the shortstop, to come up to the bat, to come up to the plate for the Rams here. Senior. And F will take the first one. So 1 out, 1 on at first for the Rams. F not having any part of that one. And Chevy decides to stay at first base. The pitch from Seeley a bit high. Loses control of that one. And Chevalier going to second. Shot here along the third base line, high, and that one's going to fall foul. And there are a lot of veteran softball spectators here. Nobody jumped out of the way of that one. Seeley gets the call, delivers a little low, taking a cut, but not able to get what she needed. F lives for another day. The pitch, a little low, and F on a drop third strike, gonna get to first, safe. And making it count. Nevaeh F, good heads-up play. Braswell, the first baseman, up to bat next for the Rams. And Chevalier sitting pretty at the third base position right now. Seeley with the pitch. And Braswell gets a piece of that one, fouls it along the backstop. Braswell awaits the pitch. Seeley with the delivery. A little low. And recovered nicely. Chevalier going to hang out there at third base and not attempt to try to steal home. Seeley's pitch a little low in the dirt. Called ball for Braswell. Seeley gets the call, the delivery. Cut clean from Braswell, strike. Seeley with the pitch a little high. Good recovery by the catcher from Malden. Keep everybody at bay. That's going to load up the bases. Braswell going to walk on her first at bat. Second walk of the day for Seeley. Kelsey Sinapuse, the catcher, up to bat. And checks that one. Wild pitch. He's going to send Chevalier home with her first run of the day. So all tied up here in the bottom of the first. 2 on, both in scoring position for the Rams. Sinapuse's first at bat here at home. It's a tight strike zone. Sinapuse gets caught looking on that one. 2 strikes here for the sophomore out of Classical. Sealy with the delivery a little low. The pitch gets a good handle on that one. Thrown out at first, but F gonna score for the second run of the inning for the Rams. So Centipuse grounds out in her first at bat, but gets an RBI in the making. So F works her way from home plate all the way to third. A couple stolen bases. Ramirez, the right fielder, up to bat for the Rams. And Braswell's going to steal home as well. So 3-1 here, Classical over Malden in the bottom of the first. And they've already worked their way halfway down the lineup. Ramirez in her first at bat of the day. High pitch. Sends Ramirez to first. And Ramirez getting the walk. Third walk of the inning for Sealy. And next up in the batter's box for the Ram, Elias, the pitcher. Wild pitch there from Sealy. Going to give Ramirez the go-ahead to go on and steal second. Elias waits the pitch from Sealy, the delivery. A little high. Another high pitch there. And Elias with the eye. Sealy with the pitch. Elias with a solid cut. Steps out of the box to compose herself after that one. Low and then the dirt. Elias gonna go to first for free. And after the wild pitch, Ramirez is going to sneak over and steal third while she's at it. So Elias will take the walk in her first at bat. McKenna Duncan, the center fielder, up to bat for the Rams next. Swing and a solid cut. Gets a piece of that one. And Coach Morin pinch runs Delisha Perez Vasquez for Elias. She thought she was going to steal second there. And they send her back. There she goes. Takes second. Another one of the Lady Rams basketball players making an impact this season. McKenna Duncan awaits the pitch from Sealy. The delivery. And right where Sealy wants it, called for strike two. Sealy gets the call, the delivery. High one there. And we're looking at a full count. 2 outs, 2 on here for Classical in the bottom of the first. 3 runs earned so far. Swing and a shot fouled back along the backstop, and that'll keep her alive for this at-bat. The pitch a little low, and catcher quick to recover. Let's keep all players at bay. And Duncan gonna earn her first at bat with a walk. Liliana Parker, the left fielder, the next up for the Rams. We're number 14. And should be the final Ram in the lineup. So if Classical can put some more points onto the board, we might be back to the top of the lineup and see Mia Duncan bat again. Seeley shakes off the first couple, gets her call a little low, and Parker reluctant to take the bait on it. The pitch from Seeley, just a little bit high. Parker a Ram with another tight strike zone. Two outs, loaded bases here for the Rams. 3 runs earned already. Ground ball. Shortstop picks it up. Ramirez walks in for her first run. And another base hit for the Rams. Parker going to get herself a single in her first at bat. We're back to the top of the lineup. Mia Duncan, a third baseman for the Rams, up to bat, thrown out and ground out at first. So Mia Duncan, her second at bat of the day. And Seeley trying to find a groove here in the bottom of the first. Perez Vasquez, the runner at third. And she's going to walk home. So Duncan gets a walk on her second at bat. That sends the pinch runner, Delisha Perez Vasquez, home. For her first run of the day. So 5-1, Rams over Malden here early on. And pitching coach will come out. Try to talk to Seeley about what to do to get through this first inning. If you're just joining us, thanks for tuning in to Lynn Educational Television. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue. We got our crew from Classical here. Thanks to Lyman and Godswill for coming out. A bit of a field change. Anybody who knows that park over at Breed, it's got about 2 to 3 inches of mud on it. So we're playing down at Fry for the home opener for the Lady Rams in the 2025 softball season. Led once again by Coach Joe Morin. Chevalier up at the plate once again. A walk in her first at bat. Earned herself a run. Fouled off along the first baseline and over the Classical dugout. A little low. And Chevalier says, "No way, Jose." And a correction on the name. Stephen Galvin knows her from back in the day and always gets it right. Corrects me. Deep, long ball over to left field. Over the left fielder's head. That's going to send 1 home. That's going to send 2 home. 3 home. Is she going to go for it inside the Parker? And she is. And that's going to send Chevalier home with an inside the park homer. So, Elias will score. Duncan will score. Parker will score. And so with the at-bat. So Classical really pouring it on here. Nevaeh F next up to bat for the Rams. F with the single in her first at-bat. Sealy with the delivery. That one rolls across home plate. So Chevalier comes in, hits one deep to left field, right over the left fielder's head. Can't get to it in time. And uses the stems to run all the way around, all the way back in a home for an inside the park homer. First home run we've seen of the season. F awaits the pitch from Sealy. A little high, not going to take the bait on that one. F takes a cut along the third baseline, and they're going to call that one foul. Good heads-up play by Lama to zoom out on that one. And whereas we're usually in center field, there's no boundary here at Fry Park. So the last thing we wanted to do was be involved in the game. Although it does kind of look like that right now, doesn't it, Lyman? We're happy to bring you the first game of the season here for the Lady Rams. We're looking at a lot of good improvement. Most of these guys returners this season. Sealy with the pitch, rolls another one across home plate. F congratulated by Coach Morin on her ability to see. And she'll await the delivery from Sealy. The pitch a little high, and that was going to send F to first. So a walk in her second at-bat. Brooke Braswell, the first baseman, come up to the plate once again this inning. Braswell with a walk in her first at-bat. Braswell awaits the pitch, a little low. And F, quick to steal second from first base. So F works away in a scoring position for Brooke Braswell. Senior here for the Rams. Cut at that one low. And Braswell regretting taking the bait. The pitch, Braswell with another cut, drop third, strike. Braswell's going to take first easily after a botched attempt to throw her out at first. And F will round third and take home. So F with her second run of the day. Braswell earns herself an RBI. And Kelsey Centipuse, the catcher, coming up to bat. And her second at bat of the day. Centipuse with a ground out in her first at-bat. Centipuse not going to take that one. Slow delivery back to the pitcher. Encourages Braswell to take the liberty to work her way over to second. with a stand-up steal. And the pitch. Centipede holding that one on the cut. And guys in blue said, not enough strength to hold it back. So strike there called for the catcher out of Classical. In a second. Centipede awaits the pitch from Seeley. She's got the call she wants, the delivery. Shot along the third baseline. Shortstop has to back it up, trying to throw her out at first. Just a little bit too high. Brooke Braswell going to work her way over across that home plate. And Centipede attributed with a stand-up double in her second at-bat. She'll earn herself an RBI there, too. And Braswell with her second run of the day. And we might see some adjustment here in the lineup for the Rams. Nope. We got Ramirez up to bat yet again. Ramirez with a walk in her first at bat. 2 stolen bases. Earned herself a run. And Centipede sitting in scoring position at second. Ramirez takes a cut at that one. A little bit too much steam on it for her. Pitch from Seeley, just the high. Centipede hold up at second. (11:01) here in the bottom of the first. Rams over Malden. Both teams in search of their first win of the season. Pop fly fielded nicely by Seeley, and that'll wrap up the inning for the Rams. So after one, Classical 11, Malden 1. We'll be back with the top of the second. Welcome back. Start of the second here. Gomez up to bat for Malden. And Malden with a solid hole to dig themselves out of. Rams going on a bit of a spree there. 11:01 here at the top of the second. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. Both facing off against a like opponent in Everett in their last game. Everett, the defending GBL champions, coming out strong in the beginning of the season. And Classical with only one game under their belt so far. Elias pitching for Classical today. And Centipede catching for the Rams. Elias' pitch a little bit too high. Gomez says, no way, Jose. I'm not interested in that one. Get out of here. It's good. Nice to see you. Swing and a miss. And Gomez catches all air on that one. And a high pitch there. Gomez says, nope, I'm all good on that one. I'm going to take the walk. And a little confusion. But after the correction, Molina, next batter for Malden up. Elias shakes off the first couple from Centipede and brings something a little bit different this time. Ball call, 1-0 call. High ball, takes a cut, swinging for the moon, catches a strike. So no outs, one on. Gomez with the walk. Molina in her first at bat, and hoping to help Malden dig themselves out of this one. Elias gets the call, the delivery. Strike. Centipuse delivers it back. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So, third strikeout of the day for Elias. Cogswell up to bat next. Her first at bat of the season. I'm sorry, the game. Certainly not the season. High one there. Good adjustment by Centipuse. Cogswell awaits the pitch. The delivery from Elias. Check swing. There's a little bit too much muscle behind it. Can't stop that one. Elias with the pitch. And a high strike. So one out here for Malden in the top of the second. Elias with the pitch. And can't get it over the plate. Cogswell lives to see another one. A little low. Good adjustment by the catcher out of Classical. Keep that one in front. The pitch from Elias. Strike 3. So catches Cogswell. Fourth strikeout of the day so far for Elias. And we're back to the top of the Malden lineup. Trin come up to bat. The righty out of Malden. Her second of the day. A walk in her first at bat. 2 outs here from Malden. 1 on at first base. Trin not taking the bait on that high stuff. Says, give me something a little lower. The pitch from Elias. She gets a piece of that one. Falls fair right in front of home plate. And Kelsey Centipuse, quick to get up. Just couldn't get under the ball in time. And that'll send her to first base for the second time today. Her first earned hit. Trin, the sole scorer for Malden today. Sealy, the pitcher. Kalidi, up to bat next for Malden. Kalidi playing in the shortstop position. Quite active defensively for the Classicals last at bat. The pitch. Right where she wants it. Elias delivering more strikes. So 2 on, 2 out here for Malden in the top of the second. A little low there. Centipuse is going to have to recover. Both runners will advance. And now 2 in scoring position. Gomez works her way from first to second to third, 2 of which were steals. And another high ball. Centipuse is going to be quick to get it back to Elias for the tag. And the third out is there on an attempted steal from third base. So at the end of the top of the second, Classical still boasting a solid lead over Malden. We'll be back with Classical's at bat here in the bottom of the second. Welcome back. Bottom of the second here at Fry Park. Classical hosting Malden in their first league game of the 2025 season. Elias will be up for the Rams here in the beginning of the Rams at bat here in the second. And Rams boasting an 11-1 lead here over Malden. Both teams working to get into the winning category with this game. A little low there. And Garcia in the pitch for the Malden Golden Tornadoes. And that one a little bit inside. And Elias is like, no way, Jose. And Elias will take the base after that one. So a walk in her first at bat, and a walk in her second at bat as well. McKenna Duncan, the center fielder, to come up to bat for the Rams next. Duncan with a walk in her first at bat. Earned herself a run as well. Little high there. Delisha Perez Vasquez, the pinch runner for Elias, in at first. She was able to steal second and third and was batted in with a deep long ball. And I believe that one came from Brooke Braswell. Pitch low and in the dirt. Perez Vasquez will advance to second after the walk. And McKenna Duncan will take first base with ease once again. Liliana Parker, the left fielder, up to bat next for the Classical Rams. Parker with a single in her first at bat. And a pitch high and inside forces her to step back, gets a strike call. And a class act, Parker jumps right back into the box. Says, give me what you got, Garcia. So no outs, 2 on here for the Rams in the bottom of the second. Rams boasting a 10-run lead early on in this GBL matchup. Cut there from Parker, drop third strike. Going to give her the opportunity to take first, and that's exactly what she'll do. Back to the top of the lineup, Mia Duncan coming in and loaded bases here. The third baseman out of Lynn Classical. Grounded out in her first at-bat, walked in her last at-bat. And Duncan trying to get into the mix. Garcia with the delivery. Strike call. Garcia delivers that one. Takes a shot. That's going to send Delisha Perez Vasquez home. McKenna Duncan will hang up at third. And Mia Duncan earns her first single and RBI. So Vasquez with 2 runs after being called in a pinch run. Chevalier up to bat once again. Chevalier with the inside the park homer earlier on. I'm going to take that one away from F. I knew it was in the first 3. But she's the one who sent Delisha Perez Vasquez home last time. Chevalier not taking that one. No outs here. 2 on for the Rams. And a ground ball over to third base. Fielded well by the third baseman out of Malden. And Should catch McKenna Duncan on the tag up at third. So I'm hearing 2 outs now. I must be off a little bit here. Usually the teams that are playing are a lot better at tracking the game than the guy who enjoys 1 or 2 baseball games a year. So high fly ball over the shortstop's head. That one's going to send Duncan home, so Duncan will run in. And Brooke Braswell gets herself a single here. Sorry, Nevaeh earns herself a signal there. Braswell takes a piece of that one up and over second base. That one's going to send Chevalier home. Eth going to hang out at third base. Braswell with a stand-up double. And her third at-bat of the day. Kelsey Centipuse up to bat yet again. And a line drive to the pitcher. Garcia fields it nicely. And the third out is delivered. And Classical earning a couple more runs here in the bottom of the second. Malden get a solid hole to dig themselves out of. We'll be back with the top of the third. Welcome back, top of the third here. A lot to little. Classical boasting the lead in this one. Khalidi up to bat, her second at bat of the day. She had a single and got tossed out on an attempt to take her home. Elias still up on the mound, if you can say that here in softball. Swing, catches a piece of that one. Sends it back hard into the backstop. Both teams working to get into the winning category here. Facing off against Everett in their last games. High pitch, good adjustment by Centipuse. Keep that one in play. And the Malden coach in our way. Elias gets the call from Centipuse, the delivery a little low, and that one's going to send Khalidi to first on the walk. Seeley, the pitcher, next up to bat for Malden. And trying to throw out base runner at first after a hefty leave. Braswell not able to field that one cleanly. Forces the second baseman to go back it up. And Khalidi says, if you're going to throw me out, I'm stealing second next at bat. Seeley awaits the pitch from Elias. Elias waves off the first view from Centipuse, the delivery. And just a bit outside. And a bit better of a vantage point here. The pitch high. And good recovery by Centipuse. Seeley steps back up into the box. Elias quick to pitch. And fourth ball is going to send Seeley to the bag for the second time today. Ortiz, the next batter on the lineup here for Malden. 2 on for the Golden Tornadoes. No outs here in the top of the third. Elias with the pitch. Good shot right into the pitcher's glove. Line drive coming from Ortiz. Gets tossed out at first. But that'll advance Sealy to third. Colletti to third and Sealy to second. So 1 out, 2 in scoring position for Malden. Ortiz with a sacrifice grounder to advance the base runners. Umel, the next batter up, gets a shot at that one. Falls a little bit shallow inside. Thrown out at first, but not before Colletti can get her first earned run of the day. And Umel grounds out. Good heads-up play by the shortstop, Nevaeh F. Garcia, the relieving pitcher, up to bat for Malden. So 2 outs, 1 on in scoring position. Sealy sitting at third and hoping to earn her way home. Ground ball over to F. Cleans it up fairly over to first base. Braswell fields that one cleanly for the third out of the inning, and we'll be back with the bottom of the third. Ramirez up to bat for the Rams. Takes a shot at that one over the second baseman. Ground ball finds its way into center field, and Ramirez strutting to first. The pitcher, Elias, in her third at-bat of the day. Unless we've got a pinch batter. I think we do. We'll try to get a cleanup on that for you. So Ava Cahill up to bat. Wild pitch from Garcia. It's going to give Ramirez the go-ahead to steal second. And Ava Cahill, I believe, is up to bat for the Rams. Not taking the bait on the high stuff. Cahill awaits the pitch, has to back away from that one, and awarded on her ability to see. Swing and a miss, solid cut from Cahill. Trying to get all of that one. Cahill awaits the pitch from Garcia, a little high. Cahill will take her base for the first time today. And next up to bat, we're number 9, Corbett, one of the freshmen that Coach Morin told me to keep an eye out for. Some good fielding ability. And that one just getting away from Garcia. Garcia says, no, that was a practice one. We're going to give it another whack. And everybody else says, okay, I think that's cool. Corbett gets the pitch, takes a shot at it, gets over to the third baseman, tags up at the third base. That's going to send Ramirez home. But Corbett going to get her first single of the game. So Malden trying to stem some of the scoring here for Classical. Ramirez coming out with a screaming shot over second base, getting herself on to first and stealing second, and just couldn't get to third. Right place, right time, and good heads-up play by the Malden third baseman, Molina, to make it happen. Pinto, the next batter up for the Rams. Another substitute getting her way into the batter's box. Pinto awaits the pitch from Garcia. The delivery. Strike call there. Catches Pinto looking. Another high ball. Low and in the dirt. Pinto going to take the base. Her first walk of the day. And Ava Cahill works her way to third base. Mia Duncan, freshman up at bat. Forced to jump out of the way at that one, show off the athleticism. Duncan looking at loaded bases here. The Rams with a commanding lead. And what we think is 15-2 right now. We'll say that score out for the sake of our editor. Pitch from Garcia, just a little low, and that one's gonna walk Mia Duncan, and we'll see Ava Cahill cross home plate for the first time today. Loaded bases again. And up to bat for the Rams, wearing number 15. Delisha Perez Vasquez, usually a pinch runner, working her way off of the substitution list into the batter's box. And the kids got speed. We saw that all winter on the basketball court. Perez Vasquez congratulated on her ability to see. Doesn't take the bait on the low stuff. Lives for another day. So loaded bases, one out here for the Rams. Perez Vasquez goes down swinging in her first at bat. And that's the first strikeout of the day for Garcia out of Malden. Nevaeh F., the senior, playing in the shortstop position today. In the batter's box. And F with a solid game so far. 3 at-bats, 2 singles, 1 walk, and 2 runs. A couple solid plays at the shortstop position. So 2 outs, loaded bases, no runs earned here for Classical, and the top of the I'm sorry, bottom of the third. Awaits the pitch from Garcia. The delivery, a little high. Says take the base. Will walk. And Corbett gonna head home. Sorry, Pinto. Brooke Braswell. And it looks like we got a stoppage in the game. We're going to keep rolling here. And they could be applying the mercy rule. We're going to keep an eye out on the dugout, see if anybody's grabbing gloves in green. And Centipede seems to be putting on catching equipment. So we'll get word to you as we see it, but we're seeing pitchers and catchers come out. So it looks like we had a batter go out. I'm not really sure. I didn't catch the play. I was looking to track some stats back. The third out of the inning is going to send us to the top of the first. Classical boasting a 15-2 run lead here at the end of the third. No score for the Rams, and we'll be back with the top of the fourth. Welcome back. Top of the fourth. Classical with a commanding lead over Malden. Leading off for the Golden Tornadoes, wearing number 6, Gomez. Gomez with a walk in her last at-bat, got tossed out at home. So Classical with 11 runs in the first, 4 runs in the second, no runs in the third. We found out the conclusion of the third resulted in the base runner leaving second early. So that was the third out of the third inning for the Rams. Malden with a run in their first inning, and then a run last inning. And Ramirez onto the mound, catches her first strikeout of the day. Ramirez leading off with Gomez and showing strike once again. Molina the batter for Malden. Ramirez sets up the delivery. Second strike. Going for 2. Ramirez gets the call she wants. That one a little low, bounces back up. Good adjustment by Centipede to keep it in front. Molina steps back up to the plate. A strikeout in her first at-bat. And gets caught swinging right there. Ramirez with 2. And her first 2 batters. Cogswell, the next batter up for Malden. Ramirez with the pitch. Catches her swinging. 0-1 call here. 2 outs, no on. Pitch low and inside. Centipede forced to run back and collect that one. Ramirez with the delivery. Another low one. Starting off in a solid groove. And maybe delusions of grandeur could be getting to her head. The pitch. Strike. Right where she wants it. Ramirez playing all over today. Strike 3. Ramirez 3 up, 3 down for the Classical Ram. And I think that will conclude the game. We're going to keep rolling for you. Cogswell goes down swinging. Ramirez bringing out the steam. And I think we might have one more here. So, Classical holds Malden to 2 in the top of the 4th. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back, bottom of the 4th here. Classical with a commanding lead over Malden. Solid cut there. High pitch from Garcia. And Kelter, the batter for the Rams. Kelter will take the base on that one. Drop third strike. A walk in her first at bat. Kelsey Centipuse, the catcher, come up to bat for the Rams. So bottom of the 4th here. No outs for the Rams. Centipuse in her 4th at bat of the game. Stand-up double in her last at bat. High ball, good adjustment by the catcher out of Malden. That'll keep Kelter hung up at first. Garcia with a wild pitch. And Centipuse going to take first on the walk. And Eliani Ramirez up to bat. Had a great inning defensively as pitcher. Last inning. Had a 3 up, 3 down inning. Ramirez caught looking on that one. Low pitch there. Gets lost by the catcher. And Kelter works her way from first to second after the walk and steals third to get in a scoring position. And looking at home, Ramirez takes a beating. And now the Rams looking at loaded bases again after the walk from Ramirez. And trying to get a number on the batter. We'll wait for the pitch. High swing, cut. And I believe we've got Ava Cahill up to bat again. Cahill takes a cut at that one. High pop fly infield. Forces the Malden first baseman to come up and make the play. So Cahill will go down with a fly out in her second at bat. And Corbett up to bat again for the Rams. A single in her last at bat. Looking at loaded bases here. Rams boasting a solid lead. And tough on the delivery back. Coach Morin is going to hold up Kelter at third. Corbett steps into the box and awaits the pitch from Garcia. The pitch takes a cut right back to the pitcher and thrown out at first base there. Corbett. So 2 outs for the Rams here in the bottom of the fourth. Kelter's going to score. And that'll be 18th run for the Rams here in this one. Elias, the batter, up. Takes a cut at that one. Correction there. The ponytail was covering again. Pinto, a walk in her last at-bat. Pinto, the batter for the Rams. So 2 outs for the Rams here. And 2 on, both in scoring position. Garcia with the delivery. And just a bit inside. The pitch, high stuff. Going to force the catcher to recover. Coach Morin going to hang Centipede up at third. Pitch right where she wants it. Strike 3. Pinto goes down looking on the second K of the day for Garcia. So at the end of 4, Classical 18, Malden 2. We'll be back. Top of the 5th here. Ramirez, her second inning up at the mound. And she's going to take on Hartrin. Hartrin's third at bat of the game, a single in her first. And Ramirez's first time up at the top of the lineup while on the mound. Ramirez's next pitch. Ground ball to Brooke Braswell, the first baseman. Picks that one up, makes the play on her own. And if Classical can keep Malden from scoring here, this could be the final at-bat of the game. Low and inside. Khalidi, the batter, takes that one for a ball. Ramirez with the pitch, right where she wants it, with some authority. 3 strikeouts on the day so far for Ramirez. The pitch. Swings, hits the second baseman, cleaned up, and thrown out at first. Good heads-up play by Lynn Classical's very own Alicia Perez Vasquez. So 2 ground outs here in the 5th for Malden. Seeley, the batter for the Golden Tornadoes. Ramirez delivering a strike. Two outs, no on. Pitch low. Seeley trying to end on a high note. Ramirez with the pitch. Low again, forces Centipede to make the adjustment. Ramirez with the pitch. Grounded over to the third baseman from Classical. Can they get there in time? No, they won't. They're on the play. We're in number 12 from the Rams bench, Kelter. Kelter keeps the ball in front. Just can't field it cleanly enough to make the toss out at first. And who I thought was Brooke Braswell over there, I think is Mia Duncan playing at the first base position this inning. So correction. And a couple of botched pitches going to result in some easy stolen bases for Seeley. Ramirez with the pitch. Centipede quick to make the adjustment. Ortiz the batter for Malden. Ramirez looking to get out of this inning. 3 strikeouts on the day. Ground ball right back to Ramirez. And trying to throw her out at first. Can't field it cleanly enough. She'll end up safe. Seeley will score. 3rd run of the day for Malden. And Ortiz earns herself an RBI after a rough couple of first at-bats. Umel up to bat for Malden. Takes a cut at the low soft. Centipede has a chance to throw off and pick off a runner. Trying to steal second. Ortiz will stand up and steal second with ease. Umel steps back into the batter's box. And Ramirez gets back to work. Eliani's going to beat me up. I think I called her Garcia a couple of times. That's Eliani Ramirez, solid TV media student. Pop fly, high pop fly. Right fielder comes in to make the play, and that'll be it. And Classical is going to advance into the winning category after this one. And a bit of an opportunity towards the end. Malden coming back and scoring in the 5th. Classical not needing to go up to bat. So at the end of the first, Malden had 1. Classical tossed 11 runs onto the board in the bottom of the first. And Malden went scoreless in the top of the second. Classical came out, tossed 4 more runs onto the board. Malden came back into the 3rd, scored 1 run, ended the 3rd, top of the 3rd with 2 runs. Classical came in the bottom of the third, scored 2. And then in the top of the fourth, Malden couldn't get anything onto the board while Classical was able to send 1 home. Malden coming into the 5th with their 3rd and final run of the day. Classical not going to need to go back up to bat. So Classical is going to advance to a 1-1 record. Malden will fall to 0-4. Classical heading to Swampscott for their next matchup, and hopefully by the end of this week, we're watching the Classical English game from Breed Park, our home field, where we've got our general advantage point. I want to say thanks to our crew from Lynn Classical. We got Lyman and Godswill here, bringing you these smooth and steady shots. I'm your commentator from Lynn Educational Television, thanking you for tuning in.